Hello, fellow gamers, and welcome to the Video Gamers Podcast. Today, we're checking up on the residents of Bedtime Town in Mr. Sleepy Man, entering the rhythmic power brawls of Dead as Disco, and checking out a interesting crossover in Dead by Daylight. I am your host, Ace, and joining me, he's often a visitor, but never a resident of Bedtime Town, it's John.
Never a resident? That is putting it so mildly, it's not even funny. I'm like, I am a very unhoused person in Sleepy Town.
you're the homeless in Bedtime Town? Fair enough. And he's danced through powerful battles to prove to us that disco ain't dead yet, baby. It's Ryan.
Heck yeah, man. You call me like Travolta. Just, I guess, yeah, I'm interested to talk about it. I got my thoughts on it.
I'm interested to hear your thoughts on that one. But, hey, we're back here again with some more indie news, baby.
Yeah.
I'm super excited.
Woo!
There was a lot, honestly, to pick through this week, so had to pick the best. We're gonna start with our old pal, Ryan.
Yeah.
Mr. Sleepy Man.
Hello.
He got... Go ahead, Ryan. Do the voice for him.
I don't remember it enough to do it yet. I'll learn it. Don't worry.
Fair enough. But Mr. Sleepy Man actually finally got a release date. It is going to be 2025, as well as it's coming to the Nintendo Switch.
That's...
The Nintendo Switch or the Switch 2, sir?
It just said Nintendo Switch. Okay. All right. I'm not...
Oh, that's actually a good point, John.
I have to imagine it's coming to both, but...
It's got to be like a Nintendo Switch game that's, cross-compatible with both consoles, I'd imagine.
Right.
I don't know if they'd put the effort into making it a specifically Switch 2 port.
But good for him, man. That's
yeah, I know, right?
That's really cool. Devin's a cool dude, and the game looks pretty crazy but neat. I enjoyed it, but to get hooked up with Nintendo, that's big.
Dude, that's huge. Especially his game is perfect for that console.
Yeah, it's perfect for that console. It seems like that style of game is very in vogue right now, especially kind of in the solo dev team. I don't know, man. I think that's going to be a hit. I think people are sleeping on it, but that's going to be a hit.
I got what you did there.
I got you. Yeah, sleeping on it.
Yeah. He's like, I totally meant to do that.
Totally intentional, guy.
Very clever man, this John.
Yeah, but just a reminder for anyone who doesn't remember, Mr. Sleepy Man is the whimsical 3D platformer from the mind of our good buddy of the show, Devin Santee. Songwriter.
Great guy. One of the funnest interviews you guys have ever done, too.
Dude, he was the greatest.
Yeah, he's built for this.
Yeah. It was cool. It was weird. It was just kicking back, like people say about us with the talking video games. Like it was just like sitting with a friend. Hanging out and chatting.
The chillest thing ever, dude.
Yeah, if you haven't listened to it, people, definitely go on our backlog and check it out. It's a good interview.
Yeah, I mean, with the game coming out this year, you have no better reason than that just to go listen to it and understand just what he's got cooking for you. But moving on from Mr. Sleepy Man, because that was just a quick little announcement I wanted to make sure everyone knew about because we're such big fans of his game here. Have you guys ever heard of the game Dead by Daylight?
Mm-hmm. Very, very often. Yes, many times.
Very often.
Ryan hears about it from me pretty often.
Yes.
But for those unaware, Dead by Daylight is a horror game. It's a multiplayer horror game where 4 people play the survivor, 1 person plays the killer or the bad guy, and they try to hunt you down before you can finish generators. They started off as an indie game. They're not currently anymore because of company buyouts and just the amount of money they have.
Yeah.
Right.
And they've licensed with just about everyone in the business of horror at this point, from horror movies like Halloween up to horror games like Resident Evil and Castlevania even.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah. They got a Castlevania crossover where they got Dracula as a killer in the game.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Well, yeah,
pretty freaking cool.
Not only that, but they have bands like Iron Maiden and Slipknot, and I think you can play Nicolas Cage.
Oh,
Nicolas Cage
awesome.
is in the game. Yeah, and he's voiced by himself. It's pretty freaking cool.
It's pretty good. It's pretty creative.
It's great to see an indie studio to have made it that far, where they're called asymmetrical horror games. But they are like the name of asymmetrical horror games when you think of them at this point, because none others survive because of them. They get cannibalized by them.
Yeah, and this is they're following the Fortnite effect, like just get licensed stuff.
Definitely,
and then,
especially with what I'm about to tell you.
Oh, okay, lay it on me.
Oh no. So they just announced possibly their most popular crossover yet with a little known indie horror franchise you might be familiar with called Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh,
FNAF.
jeez.
Yep, FNAF.
FNAF.
Internet sensation FNAF is coming to Dead by Daylight.
Did you
What
ever
are your
get into that?
thoughts? What, did FNAF?
Yeah.
No.
No.
Sit and survive horror games really weren't my thing.
Uh-huh.
I think the concept is very unique, and the
Haunted Chuck E.
I guess
Cheese.
the story, the lore, whatever that people have dug up on their own.
I just remember
But-
seeing. I took my my niece and my daughter out to lunch one time because my niece was visiting, and she just busts out these little figures, and they're just like the craziest things that I've ever seen. And I was like, "What the heck are those?" She's like, "Five Nights at Freddy's," you know. And then I saw them everywhere after that, like everywhere I looked.
Oh, dude, it's massive. I mean, they've got a movie that was done by Blumhouse.
Mhm.
Like, it was huge. John, are you familiar with FNAF any?
Yeah, I'm plenty familiar with it. It's not quite my cup of tea, but I feel like it's Ryan, are you familiar with, I know neither of you guys are really deep horror guys, or Ace, maybe you are, but there was a franchise back in the 90s, 2000s that gets a little indie release once in a while called Puppet Master. I feel like
yeah.
Yeah, you remember them? It's like literally little marionettes that like come to life and
That was a crazy movie.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah,
but I
yeah,
feel
yeah.
like FNAF is like this generation's sort of Puppet Master. It's got a real, but on a much bigger scale, obviously. It's got a much larger following. I don't really have an opinion one or another about this franchise, but I do love the concept of Dead by Daylight sort of making all of these different properties available as cosmetic items. It reminds me of this movie that came out not that long ago called Cabin in the Woods, where it just
That's a great movie.
It's an awesome movie, man. It is.
Cabin in the Woods is a fantastic horror movie.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah, absolutely. But it was, it's a love letter to anybody who grew up with like slasher films and that kind of thing. And Dead by Daylight's doing the same thing with video games. I'm for it.
I am
That's
too.
cool. I mean,
It's
I'm
super
just
cool.
imagining like the guys from Slipknot coming after me. I'm sure they didn't have to change it very much, you know.
Yeah, no, it's like Slipknot and Metallica, all sorts of fun stuff.
Oh,
It's
gosh.
great.
I'm pretty sure I could take the Metallica guys.
Yeah, right. James Hetfield would come over. He'd be hunting you down. Come here.
There's T-shirts that play "Fear of the Dark" whenever you're sitting in the menu. It's pretty funny.
Oh wow.
But yeah, the crossover is more than just cosmetic. They are actually adding the main antagonist from the series as a killer in the game.
That's cool.
So
Oh, okay.
that ended up making it's not currently implemented in the game. It's going to be this June, I believe June 17th. But it's currently in the PTB, which is the playable test build, and it's the most concurrent players Dead by Daylight's ever had.
And the
how
test
many is
build?
that?
Oh, dang it. It was like 227,000.
Whoa,
Oh my God.
that is
It was-
crazy.
It's a lot. Like, there was a lot of people came back to Dead by Daylight because they crossed over with FNAF.
That's insane. That's like double what Rivals was doing just yesterday, man. That is
Dude.
crazy.
Yeah. Dead by Daylight is doing pretty good for itself right now.
Jeez.
That's some good player count.
Yeah,
for
way
sure.
to go, guys.
Yeah.
Way to go, Behavior. You did it. You got all the young people's attention.
Yeah, no kidding.
But moving on from Dead by Daylight to something I'm very passionate about and I'm very excited to tell everyone about is a little game called Dead is Disco.
Oh.
Ryan, why don't you tell me just a little bit what you thought about Dead is Disco and before I get into the details of
Did
it?
you just choose all the games that had dead in the title?
You know, I'm starting to think maybe I did.
Well, this one, something's not dead, and it's your dance moves. It was. Yeah, I know that was a bad one.
Wah, wah.
Wah, wah.
Womp womp.
Somebody out there laughed. I know it. It's probably some middle-aged dad that.
Yeah, you.
Saw a joke.
You laughed at it.
You count.
Yeah.
But anyways, the game itself was actually quite enjoyable. I think the stuff with the music and the beats and then the look of the game, I enjoyed my playtest on it. I don't know how long I would play, but like always, indie games barrier to entry is low, and I mean it was a really cool game.
Yeah, I mean, currently, they have the free demo that everyone come check out. Like, it's temporary. So if you're hearing this episode and you haven't checked out the demo, go ahead and go check it out right now before I tell you what it is. But it is a rhythm-based, instead of being like a rhythm-based shooter or anything like that, it's a rhythm-based action game, sort of a twin-stick melee. Think about if you were to take the combat of Sifu and mix it with a rhythm game, and now you've got what is essentially Dead as Disco.
I will say the movement was very, very fluid.
Oh, it's so satisfying, too, when you can get a really good combo going and you're just hitting people to the beat of whatever song you've decided to play. That's the cool thing. I've played 3 hours of this demo. This demo has one mission that you can play. The rest of it is all custom mode, where you can take an MP3 of any song you want, put it in the game, and you can play through that song. It's super cool. People are doing it all over the media right now, and I don't know how legal it is. But
does it have to be like 4/4 time? Like, what if you listen to music that has really weird timing signatures?
You set the beats per minute, so I don't know. It recommends a song with 120 beats per minute at least.
Okay.
John's going to go throw him some like death metal with double bass.
Well, yeah, I mean, like a lot of what I listen to is like Meshuggah, and they've got these really weird time signatures. And I don't know how intuitive the game is. I don't know if it would like do stuff like that, but it's cool.
Yeah, it's cool. And when it comes out in the full release, it's going to have a campaign. It's going to have a really cool, like just artistic style and story that really looks amazing to me. It stands out to me as a game that people are missing out on. 100%.
It definitely was different. It's unique. I got like that fun arcade vibe from it, where you see the counter of your combo hits going, and it's just, it gives you that kind of just fun arcade feel. At least when I played, I did not put in 3 hours. I probably
I didn't expect anyone
probably put in 15 or 20 minutes to check it out. But what I played was cool. So yeah, definitely if there's a demo and you like this style, I think you would probably enjoy this game.
Also, the main character's name is Charlie Disco, which, I mean, come on.
The coolest name ever.
That is
Charlie Disco. Ain't dead yet, baby.
Best disco name ever.
I might have a kid just to name him Charlie Disco.
Moving on from Dead as Disco, though, we're moving back to the world of roguelikes and dungeon crawling roguelikes in the first person, for that matter. We're looking at a game called Shroom and Gloom. What did you guys think of this game, just based off first appearances?
I would have never given this game a second look, if I'm being honest, if I wasn't coming off the heels of Slay the Spire. Slay the Spire is something that the community, championed like crazy, and thank gosh they did, because I am in love with that game. And I played a lot of tabletop, but I also love collectible card games, Magic the Gathering specifically. And I'm like, this feels like it might, scratch that same itch. I'd probably check it out. Might surprise me.
It's got very interesting visuals to me, kind of these like hand scratched, like neon mushroomy vibes, which is super great. But like, I don't know if I've ever seen a first person dungeon crawling deck builder before.
Exactly.
It's very unique.
It's got an art style that's somewhere between like a Tales of Iron and a Blueprints, maybe, where it's like, like that.
It's in between those two
paper
art styles,
cutout,
almost Inscription. If you've ever played Inscription,
yeah.
That's
but
solid.
Ryan, can I assume this did not interest you in the slightest?
I was gonna say, I'm glad you guys said all that, because I really don't have much more to say. I mean, it looks cool. It looks unique. It's just these types, are never. It's not something I'm going to go actively search out. But again, if this is your style, or you like, card games like that,
this could become someone's Balatro. Is the thing is like these deck building card games where you a roguelike and all that. It's just like people really click with them if they really like them. So they find them and they just play the heck out of it.
It is weird though, because I got in Witcher 3, I got so sucked into Gwent where I would just sit and play Gwent like for hours and not even play the actual game. I'm just playing the game within the game.
I love that.
It was like levels. It was nuts. But But yeah, so some, every once in a while one's going to click with somebody, and maybe this is that one.
Yeah, I think so. I think it'll hit for some people, it'll miss for some people, but I think the visuals are what's going to really get people's attention, and if that doesn't, then people are just going to skip over this one because, there's roguelike deck builders.
Yeah.
I think the visuals are kind of cool, man. I think it's effective. It looks new. I've never seen something first person like this in a deck builder game. I think it looks pretty cool. I'll check it out. I'm warming up to it. When I first saw it, I was like, nah, but I'm warming up to it.
Yeah, now you're thinking about it, you're like, oh, actually,
well, again, cool. I'm playing Blueprints right now, and I go between loving it and rage quitting basically every single time that I play it. Like, I don't know where I'm at with it, but I do love it in theory. I just feel like the game doesn't really respect your time so well.
Oh, yeah, no, 100%. I mean, we can't get into it because of how I feel about Blueprints. It does not respect your time. It does not.
It doesn't. But it's like, it feels like somewhere between that and Slay the Spire. I guess the big thing for me will be if I can play this Shroom and Gloom on my treadmill and not like faceplant, I'll probably play it.
Fair enough. Moving on from that. There was a indie gaming expo not too long ago where they showed off like hundreds of indie developers' games. It is called the OTK Expo, or the One True King Expo. They've been doing this for a couple years now, where they come out and they really highlight the independent, community-made, under-the-radar games, which I, for one, truly appreciate, being able to find, like, have these diamonds in the rough thrown right in my face.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have to dig for them myself. So of those hundreds of games, I picked the ones that were either the most interesting to me or the funniest, honestly, just looking at them. So starting off, I want to talk about a little game called Critteruptors. First things first, John, I want to know, are these people getting sued?
I don't know, man. I mean, with the Pal World debacle, probably.
That's bad. It's real
probably
bad. Pal World.
Looking at it looks, I don't want to say derivative, man. Like I have a really hard time with this like copyright law. Like what all can you protect? It looks different enough to me from like a Pokemon that I wouldn't say there's a suit there, but people can sue anybody for anything. So
I'm wondering if there's like one slip up there where they're gonna get them.
I don't know.
Like, oh.
I don't know.
Yeah, you never know too, and then it depends on a bunch of factors. But I mean, it's definitely it's bordering on the line. You see it
very
and
much dancing on the copyright line.
There's two things that it looks a lot like, and you can tell immediately when you see it. And so it's just how much where that line is or who draws the line, all that stuff. So,
but yeah. But for those wondering, Critteruptors is a pocket monster collecting game with an art style that is eerily similar to Animal Crossing. And then when you get into the battles, which are not turn-based, they are real-time, is something I should point out. So that's different.
Hey, there you go. That's different enough.
It's very much a pixelated Pokemon game.
Basically, the biggest thing to me, I mean, there's so many games where like creatures battle. But the Animal Crossing effect on this, the look, of that kind of cock to the side, bird's eye view with, the way the characters run, their size, the way the buildings are, it looks just like Animal Crossing.
It looks too much like Animal Crossing, and it looks like it plays too much like Pokemon. And I'm just like, ooh.
Their PR guy, their attorney comes in like, all right, which one do you want first?
Oh, hey guys, we got a letter from Nintendo. You want me to open it?
Burn it. No, gosh. Burn it.
They probably want a Switch port. But yeah, it looks like it's a great game. It looks like they've put a lot of love into it, I'll say. I am just concerned about the legal ramifications, to say for sure.
I hope it doesn't come to that, man.
You never know.
You never know. It's harder and harder to protect IP, and it's harder and harder to make a buck in entertainment these days, and lawyers are very opportunity-seeking creatures by nature. I think it's probably likely it'll get sued. I don't know that it will
Oh yeah, I
be
think
deemed
it's
frivolous or not, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. I just don't know when or how severe.
Yeah, for
It's
the
probably-
layman
it
like
took a
me,
while.
it looks different enough that it should be able to exist on its own merit, and everybody else should just cool their jets.
I'd love that for them. I just wish they didn't make it so obvious by calling their enemies Team Raccoon.
Come
Oh.
on. Well, yeah, but actually, they might be able to be
Or
protected by
Raccoon is what it was.
by parody law if they do that. You know,
Oh, you
Ah,
might be. Hey, does this? Yeah, it might land under parody then.
there you go.
There you go.
That is the loophole.
They
Isn't
can
it?
lean into
Parody is the
that.
loophole to
Like
everything.
your tuna hakes game.
Yeah.
We were talking about that before you hopped into the video chat.
Oh, tuna hake. Freaking love tuna hake. man. But moving on from copyright to copyright.
Yeah, speaking of.
Speaking of copyright, we've got a game called Bad Cheese. What a weird game, man.
The obligatory ace rat game.
Yep.
Yeah, always a rat game. I can't help it.
Rat
Ryan,
adjacent.
I want to know, when you saw this, what did you think?
I just laughed because I mean it's the floodgates are going to open now that Steamboat Willie's free for all. They're gonna use it because it is iconic. Mostly
Oh, yeah.
everybody knows that little short clip of him. So it's just interesting to see where some people are going with it. This is
voice
pretty
acting
wild,
killed
but
me
I
in
kind
this.
of really want to check it out.
I know, right? It's it takes that 1920s, cartoon aesthetic and really leans into the more haunting side of it. And to a point where it's like, what is this? I'm questioning if this is real. Games don't look like this. TV shows look like this.
Pretty much. I mean, even like you got these crazy. The thing that I always loved with the old 20s, 30s art style was like the faces they'd make the animations do, like in the grumpy faces, and they're just all over exaggerated with like the big eyes and the big buck menacing teeth and stuff. So yeah, leaning into it that way. Yeah, it's interesting. And it is black and white or like kind of grayscale look to it.
They're really leaning into the more grotesque side of animation with this one. I dig it personally because psychological horror is already one of my favorite kind of genres.
Yeah.
Now you've thrown a rat in there that looks like Mickey Mouse. Oh.
Oh gosh, say less. Ace is ready with his credit card.
I don't know if you noticed, John. This one's actually coming to PS5 as well.
Oh,
Cool.
there you go, buddy.
No interest in horror games?
No, I am interested. And it actually, are you familiar with the term analog horror by any chance?
Yes.
Okay, so analog horror is this sort of like subgenre of horror media that mostly exists on like YouTube and online and that kind of thing. But it's like short, low budget video content that leans into like this kind of like eerie, spooky aesthetic. And there was a creator called Local 58 that did these really effective minimalist horror things. And they did this kind of reminds me of it, where it's like that kind of like 1920s sort of like rubber hose animation. But leaning into the horror part where it's disarming when you see it at first because you associate it with, Mickey Mouse and happiness and sort of wholesomeness, even though Mickey Mouse wasn't terribly wholesome at the time. But it kind of like leans into that nostalgia. And then right away you're like, whoa, what is this? Like there's this image of this creepy Pluto looking thing in the trailer. We're like, whoa, I mean, this really took a hard turn. I do think that I'm curious to know which started dev first between this and Mouse PI for Hire, because that's kind of like a similar.
Yeah,
I totally forgot about that
but-
one.
Oh, not me.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. I think that's got to be a hit. I think Mouse PI for Hire is going to be a hit for sure. It looks solid, and I think they've nailed this look. The
animations are so smooth,
buttery,
and so beautiful to look at,
like butter, man. I mean, it looks animated like straight out of that time. This game, Bad Cheese, looks like it's flash animated to me. It looks pretty low.
That's fair, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that to disparage it, but looks like it was made by a solo dev using mostly Flash animation. It looks like sheets of paper on top of each other and sort of marionette cutouts and stuff. It looks effective for what it is. I'll be curious to see if the inevitable success of Mouse PI for Hire has some lift, for this game.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, and it's a lot more niche, like kind of creepy horror like that is a little more niche.
Yeah, I mean, it's already niche, and this is like doubling down on
double
that.
Niche.
Yeah. I personally do really like, though, that you can kind of weigh the two against each other, Mouse PI versus Bad Cheese, and see like how this art style can benefit both a really cool action noir setting as well as a really creepy, upsetting analog horror setting.
Right.
And I think it kind of shows the diversity in the art style.
I wonder if he's going to talk at all, like his Mickey Mouse voice.
Oh, he does. He's got a really bad Mickey Mouse impression if you have the volume on while you listen to the trailer. It's like really funny.
Oh, okay. I'd watched it before. I must have forgot. Yeah, I haven't looked at this game in a while.
Yeah, so
that'd be funny.
We'll see what happens to not Mickey and Bad Cheese.
Yeah.
But
that'd be awesome too if his name was just not Mickey.
Not Mickey would be the best name they could give this.
Ricky Rouse.
He's like
Ricky Rouse.
That
sounds like Scooby-Doo pronouncing a name.
Stick him up, see?
Ryan, you're pretty good at that, man.
Yeah, man, that's pretty good, man. I gotta give you that.
But by the way, if anyone wants to check out the analog horror thing I was talking about, it's like 3 minutes long on YouTube. It's called Show for Children. It's nice and creepy, 3 minutes of your time, and you might just find a whole new genre you didn't know about before.
Getting deep cuts.
Yeah, analog horror, creepypastas, SCP.
Oh, creepypastas too, yeah.
I used to write those.
Did you really?
Yeah, they
Man, the internet's so cool.
Yeah, they weren't good. Don't go find them.
Searching now.
That was the ones that stood out the most to me from that showcase.
What?
Not the best ones, but the ones that stood out the most.
No Brotato?
Yeah, no Brotato.
The top-down
I'm sure
arena
Brotato's
shooter?
great. I'm sure people love Brotato.
I
never played it personally.
No, I haven't played it either. But I'm glad that something like this OTK, that's what it's called, right? OTK
One True King.
One True King.
It's based off a streamer.
Ah, gotcha. I'm glad that
he
exists,
pays
man.
for everything.
that is cool that there is a game showcase specifically for the little guys. These up and comers that I feel like are the tinder, the kindling to this great fire of an industry we all exist in gaming here. I think that a lot of the really good ideas in game mechanics come in one way or another from this little niche part of the industry. And it's awesome to hear it celebrated. We should make a point to get out there at some point.
Yeah,
I think so.
Love it. No, that's neat.
And, it's so hard for people to freaking advertise anything on social media anymore. So having a platform and a place they could take their product and have it, displayed for them is super helpful.
Exactly.
Especially when everyone's looking at it. Just don't check the comments of that showcase.
Yeah. Or of anything.
Yeah,
it's such an interesting slant where like people's natural inclination online to comment on anything is that the other person is dumb and knows nothing and is a bad person. And it's just instant vitriol.
That's not what it is. You're dumb. Do you even know anything?
Chill out, internet. We can be friends, I promise.
Yeah, no. The top comment on that one was like, half of these games aren't ready to be shown off yet.
Yeah. Okay. What have you done lately, sir?
That's why they're here, so you can look at them.
Exactly.
This isn't an announcement trailer. This is hey, we're making a game. Does this interest you? Maybe come wishlist it, and we'll get build up interest and money and feed the algorithm with our passion.
Yeah.
But yeah. Before I go off on that, we've run out of time. Ryan, why don't you go ahead and tell everyone where they could support the show?
Absolutely. Our links are in all the descriptions. Patreon support definitely goes a long way for us. Small, independent, local guys, just kind of like these indie guys. So every little bit helps us kind of keep the lights on, if you will. Again, multiplayersquad.com. Links are in all our episodes, all through our socials and everything else like that. You got a lot of cool perks, Discord access, all the good stuff that one would want, and then you get to help us out. So again, think about that if you are so inclined. Also, our Discord It is the oasis in this badlands of craziness, like we were just talking about on the internet.
Over 1,000 people now. No
yeah,
mod.
Over 1,000 people.
1,000
growing,
people strong.
Yeah, growing every single day. It is something that you won't expect. When you hop in, everybody's going to greet you kindly, ask what kind of games you love. So absolutely head over there. We're in there every single day chatting it up with everybody. So definitely something to check out.
I have
on
one
my phone
additional.
so much.
I'm sorry, I may have missed this if you said it, but if
Uh-huh.
you are listening to this show, please stop, take a moment, open up your podcast player, hit that follow button, and
Yes.
leave us some stars. It goes such a long way for keeping an independent show like us going and helping us find wonderful individuals and listeners like yourself, whoever you may be out there. Your host.
And don't forget, we
Thank
got a
you.
video format, so if you're just listening, you might be missing out on some visual gags.
There you go.
Gag is the operative word there. You're missing out on 3 butterfaces right now.
Hey, speak for yourself, huh? Come on.
Yeah. Except for, Ryan's the cute, dumb one.
No. Only one part of that is true.
But, thank you so much for joining us. And until next time, happy gaming.
See ya.
Toodly McDoodly, my fruitalies.